Dun dun dun. Bing bing. Dun dun dun. Bing bing. Dun 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 dun.
Welcome back, everybody. Skullapendra here with Assassin's Creed 3 in the real world. Now, I've already jumped off enough cliffs in the real world near the Animus Chamber to know that this isn't permadeath, so it's really no more threatening than anything else. Because you're no longer in the Animus, whenever you pause, this is the screen you get. Anyway, last time we sailed a boat, or a ship rather, and that was actually really fun. It was an interesting take on a naval simulator, I will admit. But now we're in Manhattan. We need to go steal a power source. We need to go in from above, which makes me think that the backpacks that Douchey McDoucherson there is wearing is a parachute. And of course, you don't need any training to use anything like that. So let's just go. Because if it is a parachute and he doesn't have training, I sorely doubt he does, I'll be unimpressed but unsurprised. Oop. Yeah, I guess that's one of those things where I should just keep going. Up, way! On the equipment, it might be sparky, it might hurt us, but we don't care, we're assassinators. Yeah, we don't even know if this will support our weight. Actually, these things probably wouldn't because they're just cheap, flimsy steel, and me standing right here. Oh, danger! High voltage! Keep out! On top of an air conditioning duct. That makes loads of sense. And now it's going to be their excuse to have things. And no elevator service, so we're going to go on this counterweight and then up through here and over onto this thing. Making the mistake that, yes, let us use things to and the game decides that no, we're going to use this context instead of that and it does it again. So maybe it needs to do this. I'm starting to get a little annoyed here. Let's try just jumping over the damn thing. There, fine. You happy? Damn it. We have plastic wrap. Want to wrap things in plastic. Oh no, we can't climb up on this pipe. Of course not. And there is a very, very young form of GLaDOS in her pupae stage. Let's slide under here.
Hold still, that's a lovely view.
Seriously, Sean? Fuck you.
You're not a very nice man. You shouldn't say that. Jump this way! Now climb up the thing! Over here and up! There we go. There you go. And also, look at that A-frame. Actually, we're gonna go down a little bit. See this A-frame? That's purely bad structure. I should know. That's my day job. Climb up the hole! And we're gonna climb up this... We are totally going to be doing base jumping. Are we a base jumper? No. Do we know how to use a parachute? Probably not. See, now I actually have things to talk about. Look at Manhattan. It's Manhattan-y. You can kind of tell when it turns into a 2D backdrop, but who cares? And this is horrendously stupid. Whee! Look down, look up. I know I'm supposed to just run around like this, but that would be foolish, and I don't like being foolish. Now we're going to climb around these cables. They could be electrified. They're probably not rated to support a man's weight, which is good, that we're not actually holding on to them.
Jesus.
Look on the bright side. No security to worry about.
Oh, I spoke too soon! Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat.
Bright side, the slightest misstep means you're effectively paced.
Shut up, Sean.
Shut up, douchebag! And under. They just can't get enough of that effect. I thought it was cool the first time, but now I think they're overdoing it. Yep, and now we're running through this thing. It's coiled. And up. There we go. Beep beep. Alright. Well, this is kinda interesting. It's like, I guess they didn't have a... Now, who would be foolish enough to put a notice right there? Who would be foolish enough to walk up to read it? Well, I think I would be. And someone has left their helmet here. Not going to do them much good. Ooh, that's not comfortable at all. It makes my balls shrink just a little bit. Camera? Thank you, camera.
Almost there, Desmond. Once you reach the top of the lit-up crane, you should be high enough to make the jump.
Oh.
Should?
It'll be fine, don't worry.
Okay, he's not a base jumper. Not only is he
Might
not...
worry a little. I'm pretty sure she was high when she was running the numbers.
Sean!
A joke. It was a joke. Or was it?
Okay, now, let's just say that if he was a base jumper, he should be able to eyeball this more or less. And say, yeah, it looks high enough, or no. Or at least, you know, he'd be smart enough to have like a laser rangefinder or something. But I get the feeling he's never used a parachute before. And it's going to be a quick time event. This gives you an idea of just how foolish this whole thing is.
Jump when you're ready, but wait for my signal to open the chute.
Oh god, he has no idea what he's doing.
Too soon or too late, and you'll miss the building.
Okay, quick time event, go!
Now! Open your chute, now!
Oh, press any button. Alright. Let's just go to the lit up portion. That seems like a good idea. Really, I wouldn't target the lit up portion. So, I'm gonna... I don't have a choice. Woo! Look at my tribal tattoo! I'm tribal-y. Ugh. That's totally wired up for sound. Whoop 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 woo 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 wee-doo wee-doo wee-doo. Whap 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 whap.
That wasn't so bad.
So, you must be Desmond. Not exactly what I expected, but I guess your kind doesn't have many options these days.
Who are you?
Ask your father. Now give me that.
I don't think so.
Look. I'm
And
not
now I
supposed
plug
to
you in the
care,
face.
But the boss man didn't say anything about fucking you up. So you got to the counter.
Well, the ZPM makes a good hand-to-hand combat model. Model? Yeah.
So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was
So now
a
they're
sleeper
tying up
agent for
the-
Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the
You're
organization.
tying in
How
the
did they
comics
know you
and
were
stuff.
there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. Doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
I've set up some cameras topside. If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I'd suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
Ah, well, I gotta go find a place to plug in the thing. Well, we might as well talk to these people.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
Well, I'm looking at that ass.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
But do you think she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Yes.
Still alive? That's mental. That I mean she'd be at least 75, 80,000 years old? No, powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they found one.
So we saved the world only to let them come back out and destroy us.
Was it weird seeing Cross?
What do you mean?
He's a guy, I don't know him.
It's different for you. You don't know about what happened, I guess. For a long time, he was important to us. He was a different person.
Sean said he was a sleeper agent, like Lucy.
That
It was
happened
different.
in Brotherhood.
She
I
made a
didn't play
choice.
that game.
Cross, if you read the files, Abstergo just... They did terrible things to him.
They made them play this game over and over and over.
Rebecca?
You're lucky. We all are. We have people who care about us, who look out for us.
Not my
He
father.
was all
Nah.
alone, and the people he thought he could trust, they used him.
Did you know
Oh,
him?
you mean like you guys?
No, but I knew Hannah.
Who's that?
She tried to help him. She trusted him. But there was a raid about a year ago. She stayed behind so the others could escape. Tried to reason with him to see if she could fix things.
Then she got perforated.
Well, what happened?
What do you think happened? He killed her. That's what he does. That's all he knows how to do.
No thanks to us.
Sometimes it seems like that's all any of us know how to do.
Rebecca,
Well, okay, at least she's emoting.
I just want to be alone right now.
Alright. Whee! Running this way, running that way. Pops!
Son, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never
That's
mind
okay,
we
Q. I
live
can forgive you for anything.
Extraordinary lives.
yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you.
I love it when I punch you.
I
The
guess I was so
sound
busy
my
trying to make
fist
sure
makes
nothing
against
bad
your
happened, I
jaw.
didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to ask, but... how's Mom? She's not...
No. Your mother is fine. We decided it was safer if we split up for this job.
always assuming the worst.
For good reason.
Can I at least say hi to her?
I'm sorry, it's too risky. Maybe when we're done.
Right. When we're done.
And we need to sacrifice you as a Jesus figure. And can I go somewhere? Can I marry you?
Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But it's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
But knowing what's about to happen, wouldn't it make sense to try and talk to Vidic? Come to an arrangement, even if it's only temporary?
We'd all be so busy watching our backs, nothing would get accomplished. Imagine that. We're more productive at war.
Well, have we ever tried sending in someone? Doing to them what they did to us with Lucy? Or Cross?
Do it all the time. Fail miserably.
We have, and it's never worked. We've sent people who were either too weak and found themselves turned, or too strong and were unable to carry out the charade.
I just feel like we all want the same thing.
You know, the survival
We
of
use
humanity.
the same words, but that's all they are, words. In the end, it all comes down to freedom. We seek it, they detest it. And
But
so
it doesn't
there's never an end
exist.
to the fight. Not until one side is completely gone.
Is that even possible?
Probably not. Our two groups have existed in one form or another since...
Yeah, well, let's just highlight. They hate
forever.
freedom because freedom
But
doesn't
things can
exist.
be
They're
better
right.
than they are. And that's something.
Did you look for me, Dad? When I was gone?
You're
Every
bonding.
day.
Come on.
I mean it. Every night I'd look, searching for your name or variations of it, hoping you'd slip up. Abstergo only found you first because they had better access. A few more days and it would have been me.
Well, I'm here now.
Give me a hug.
And I'm glad.
Give me a hug.
Do you think Lucy regretted what she was doing?
I used to think I knew her well, but clearly that wasn't the case. So I really can't give you an honest answer.
She seemed so sincere, though. Like she really wanted to make a difference.
Yay, plot.
Yes, well, when I first met him, I thought the same thing about Cross.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
What does?
Everything.
Don't get weird on me, Desmond.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
All right, then. You should think about getting back in the Animus. We've got to find that key. We should probably get back to Connor.
Well, actually, Connor's not a dick. Let's go talk to a proper dick. He will give us dick lessons.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favor?
Maybe.
When this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. It'd be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent. I think it would prove most enlightening.
Let's use this thing for science!
So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. Well, I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action. And you can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French
Okay,
out.
this is correct.
Wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. Now keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner, gratis, for decades now. But the colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. Now when the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the...
I've actually
100th
heard this
attempt at
argument.
Getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Oh, well, with a war, apparently. I wonder how many other places like this exist.
Now, I have
Dozens of
actually
them,
had that
all
argument
over the
before,
world.
more or less, but we came to the
No one's
conclusion
ever found
that,
it before us.
again, it was
I
more
don't
of a
think
matter...
that's
It wasn't
true.
just you
Oh?
pay, it
When
was
I
a
was
matter
at
of
Abstergo,
you pay and you
they
don't get a
talked about
say in it.
silencing discoveries made by non-Templars. And I'm sure Abstergo has dug up plenty.
The things they must know.
Regretting throwing in with us?
No. Just looking forward to when we can finally trounce those bastards so I can...
Yeah, I'm totally not a plant. Totally. Not hiding in plain
I
sight.
found a lead on another power source. Later, Desmond. I'm in the middle of something very important right now. Just, that's a rule. Just follow that as a rule.
Oh, I can't bug him anymore. Darn it. Well, he said power source and find a place to plug it in or go back to Connor. So let's try finding a place to...
Come on, son, we got work to do.
Okay. I didn't really want to talk to you there, but whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's... wander over here. Perhaps that's where the new ZPM goes. It would seem to make sense. Hey! I walked into a cutscene! That wasn't there before. Whoa. None of this was here before. Told you had to replace your mainspring.
We thought we could be saved. We sought to face the sun's wrath and contain it.
Fortunately, my breasts were not
4
perky
towers
enough.
would be built to pull her fury into this place and dispel it.
What? That's stupid.
But even with all we knew, with all we had, it would take too long. 1,000 years we could labor and still the work would not be done.
I mean, that's just stupid technology. If you've got that, you've got starships.
Never completed. The project abandoned. We moved on. But while we labored on other endeavors, a few returned. They thought to automate the process. Metal might finish what flesh could not.
I mean, if you can... seriously, if you can divert that much power from a solar flare, you have that sort of technology, you've got starships. You've got starships. Oh, why didn't you just build a starship? Hadoy! Seriously, the precursors are about as smart as the morons who built the Reavers. Hadoy! Whoa! Whoa! Thump 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 thump. Okay, we're starting to risk our lives and limbs here. But none of these look like receptacles for an artifact. So, I guess that means we might as well get back into the machine. But after I run up here just to make sure that I am not missing anything. Nope, that does not appear that I am missing anything. We found a ZPM, but I guess have to find a use for it later. Right now we're supposed to use Connor, because he gets us the key, and then we probably use the key and it works past that door thing, which we could probably climb around if we tried hard enough, but I guess that's not how it works. So, now I'm gonna get back into the Animus, and actually no. I'm gonna stop it here, and that I think will be enough for one night. Have fun, everybody!